Canadian OB-GYN Dr. Gunter has been dubbed the internet's gynecologist for debunking myths around women's health. She's out with a new book, here it is here, dispelling the shame and misinformation around periods. It's called Blood, and Dr. Gunter joins us now. So good to see you again.
Thank you much for having me.
Oh, it is our pleasure. All right, you've said this is a labor of love for yourself, and I know you experienced a heavy period when you were, particularly when you were younger.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I mean, I've been blessed that so many of my girlfriends, it's been a rough go over the years. Is this what kind of prompted this? Is this the motivation behind it a bit?
Well, I don't think my own personal story was necessarily the biggest motivation. It was more what I was hearing online from so many people, I guess, having sort of the same experience that I did. And here I was thinking, okay, we're 40 years later and people still don't know about what's going on with their bodies, and they're seeing so much disinformation on social media, and they're having trouble with their own healthcare provider. And I just thought, you know what, people deserve a guide.
Mm-hmm. And is that why this book is needed now? Is that why you wrote it?
Yeah, I mean, it's sad that it's needed now. I mean, we have certain places in the country where, you know, sex ed is even optional, right? People can opt out from learning more about their bodies. And, you know, we have in the United States a very precarious political situation with, you know, issues about menstruation and access to full reproductive health care. There are some places in the States they don't want to fund having period products in schools. So, you know, there's a lot of reasons to know about the menstrual cycle.
At the same time, I feel very optimistic about the future, because what I've seen with my kids and their friends, very open about talking about periods with mixed generations. It's refreshing to see.
Oh, I think that's one of the good things about social media. It seems like it's easier to send your message out to 100,000 people you don't know than to talk one-on-one, and that's made people more comfortable. Also, I couldn't imagine 10 years ago being on a morning show and talking about periods, right? So clearly we're seeing a change.
All right, doctor, let's talk about some of the more common myths and maybe debunk a few of them for us.
Yeah, so one of the big myths is that if you put a bunch of women together, they'll all cycle in sync.
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad. I'll stop saying that. I'm such a fool.
Yeah, that's a big myth.
Where did we come up with that?
Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough. I don't know where that came from.
Oh my goodness. I remember my university girlfriends, we all thought when because we eventually, I don't know, it just seemed to happen at some point, and then we're all like, oh, this happens when women live together.
Yeah, it's one of these long-standing patriarchal myths.
You take another sip there.
Give it a good cough. Yes.
There's been a lot of talking, which is great.
Yeah, but trust me, live TV, we've all been there, yes.
Where do you, I mean, you talk about it so much. I mean, this is a natural bodily function. Where do you feel the stigma and shame began? I
think it's been here forever. Since, you know, it's all patriarchal, this fact that the menstrual cycle has been thought of as something shameful from the beginning of medicine. It's been the reason that people have thought women had inferior and toxic bodies. And we haven't really changed, which is really a shame.
Also, Doctor, I wanted to ask you about last month, Canada began requiring federally regulated workplaces to provide free menstrual products for their employees. What's your reaction to that?
I think that's amazing. We provide free toilet paper and no one cares about that. Right? I mean, why, you know, the problem, people shouldn't be embarrassed, but it does happen. If you leak onto your clothes at work, shouldn't you have an option to get products? Why should you have to, you know, run home or suffer through or wad up toilet paper and stuff it between your legs, which lots of women have done for many, many years? Right? I mean, we've all been there. I'm sure somebody watching at home is thinking exactly the same thing, right? Why should people have to be uncomfortable? Why can't we provide this? It's not expensive.
Yeah, true story. Very quickly, because I know we're running out of time, but I remember Disney. I was at Disney World, and this is a time when we didn't have products out because it's a very new thing.
Right.
And I remember washing my pants in the toilet.
Right.
Because I had no alternative. And everyone, the whole family's like, when are we hitting the rides? I'm like, I'm busy.
Right? Everybody's got a story like that.
Yes.
And wouldn't it be better if people didn't have to have those stories?
Yes, 100%. But I do feel it. I see it. I feel it.
Right.
Change is upon us.
We are moving in the right direction, and keeping the conversation going is the best way to get there.
And this is how we're keeping the conversation going. Blood, the science, medicine, and mythology of menstruation. It is available now. So good to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, doctor.